addressed a press conference yesterday in his hometown of Mallorca and said that he plans to retire by the end of 2024 season. But before that, can he win a 23rd Grand Slam title? That's what we are going to discuss in this live. Hello and welcome to WION Sports Extra. I am Nikhil Mathur and I'm joined by my sports editor Digvij Singh Deo and by my colleague Vidur Kathuria. In the press conference yesterday, he also said that he hasn't found a solution to his injury. And we have seen it with Federer. He was injured and then we had talks of he will come back, and then eventually he retired. How difficult would it be for Nadal to come back?
He can come back. And obviously, I was live when this entire thing happened and sort of reacting instantaneously and keeping the news flow going. This is the way I look at it. If he wasn't playing the French, which we expected, and he believed that he could no longer win a Grand Slam, he would have retired. I think it's last year. He won those 2 Grand Slams right at the beginning. He was injured. He himself knows that he was injured. He injured his rib first in that one of the Sunshine finals, and then went into this with that heel injury. And we all thought he'll retire probably at the French. But he won it and he creamed Casper Ruud, by the way. He creamed, I saw that game. Yeah. I think he got one tough game at the beginning and then Zverev was pushing him before, unfortunately, Zverev pulled out. Rafael Nadal, in my opinion, believes he can win a 23rd Grand Slam. That's why he's taking time off. You need to look at very small lines that are said in these press conferences. When you expand on it and you reflect on it, then you know. He said, I have done enough in my career not to retire with a press conference. Well, you know what I was telling you yesterday? That even though Federer retired, he came out and played one last match. And then the other line which intrigued me was, I intend to enjoy 100% the tournaments that have defined me. Yeah. That means the clay swing. Yeah. So this is my prediction. I don't know how his body holds up, but he's going to take time off. He says, I'm going to do things which I've never done. He's been a dad as well recently. And it's all been about this. So I don't think he's going to touch a tennis racket for 3 or 4 months. Allow that injury to completely heal. Just looking at what he's been saying over the last couple of months, since Monte Carlo, that I try to practice, then the injury flares up again. There's some problem. So go 3-4 months off. He's not going to lose his touch. He will be rusty. But then that's why I think it's important. He's saying, I want to come back at the Davis Cup. So then he sort of gives himself time to ease through, probably play one warm-up ahead of the Australian, play the Australian, then take a break, miss Mexico and all. Probably either how his body's playing, I think he may go from that break, Mexico, Dubai, Doha, skip that and go play one of the Sunshine doubles. Forget it about the ranking. He's going to fall out of the top 100, 1000, whatever. Rafael Nadal, Tiger Woods will get an entry. World Cup, okay? And then he hits the clay. Maybe I think he may not play Madrid, but again, Spain, so you don't know.
Barcelona, I think.
Barcelona, he has to play. Monte Carlo, he'll play. Rome. Barca, he'll play. He'll probably skip Madrid. And Italian is also, he's won 10 times. But I think he may decide at that point of time, after Barca, if he decides that my game is there, then he'll just go straight to the French and we should prepare for the retirement at the French. That's what I feel.
No, Nadal's career has always been plagued with injuries, but he's one man who always makes a comeback. How do you look at it?
As Digvij was mentioning, the last time he made a comeback, it was the 2022 Australian Open.
Yeah, the Medvedev, that one,
So I think he hadn't played for 6 months.
Yeah, along with Federer, they pulled out of Wimbledon.
Exactly.
Same time.
And no one played for 6 months. No one in their wildest dreams would have thought that he would push Medvedev, who was the best player in the world at that point.
He just creamed Djokovic in the straight,
in the US Open final. He had won the US Open final and he was 2 sets up and Nadal.
And a breakup.
It was unbelievable. And to do that, that just tells you what kind of a once in a generation player Nadal is.
No. This is where I disagree. Not as once in a generation, the mind of a champion.
Yeah,
I think when the mind tells you that hang in there, wait for your chance, that's what has defined Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic from the rest. I mean, there was a point where Wawrinka and Murray were also winning Grand Slams. But look at the golf. I think it's a mental strength. Yeah.
Of course, and that comes when you play the number of matches he has, number of big matches he has played, and of course that 5-set thing comes. So he definitely believes he can win a Grand Slam, and no one will bet against. He cannot play for 7-8 months, come back and still win a tournament. And he's the king of clay. The pedigree and the ability he has on that surface. He's the best clay court player of all time, without a doubt. So as Digvijay said, he will definitely. I think he'll play a couple of tournaments. He will want to play the Australian Open. He's had success there as well. Just one final time.
4? He's won 4 there, right? So 2 Wimbledon.
I think no.
14,
actually,
14 and 2,
in fact-
16.
In fact, that's his. I think he's only won it
2.
twice.
Yeah, so 18.
Twice.
And
Yeah.
I think he's won the US 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, as Digvijay said, I think he want to play the Australian Open. Then he'll give himself a break, and he will be back for the clay swing and for one final hurrah at the French Open.
Hang on. If he wins the French, does he take the rest of the season off and get to the US Open and end the season? Do you think he'll do that?
I don't think he's even thinking about that right now.
Yeah.
I think he's just targeting the French Open.
No, but he's a winner.
Even-
He's a winner.
I think
if
he's
that
going to do
23, 24 comes into picture, if Djokovic's lead isn't so much, listen, let's face it. You may say that it's over, that it doesn't make a difference who's got how many, when you win these, you're in the race. But there's
Of course.
what
of
is
course.
that thing called? The one-upmanship.
Yeah.
That's there.
But it's always going to be there between Djokovic and Nadal, and we could, Djokovic could have a three major lead.
He's the
over,
favorite for the Australian and the US for sure. And Wimbledon.
Wimbledon, exactly. So, who knows
maybe-
what lead Djokovic has over
25-22 at the start of the French.
You never know. You never bet against Djokovic or Nadal.
Can I tell you something which always struck with me? He didn't play the Australian last year, but he would have won it.
Yeah.
That mental strength, after whatever happened, being in that detention, he would have won it. That's what defines his great
I
champions.
just want, since we're talking about that, I just want to see one more proper Djokovic versus Nadal match at a Grand Slam.
Yeah.
It would be an occasion for the ages.
Final? French Open final
Yeah,
2024. Okay.
And just like you said, that Djokovic, he's in great form. He hasn't won a title on clay this season. But again, when asked in the press conference that are you the favorite for the French Open, he said, yeah, of course. If it's a 5-set thing, I am the favorite.
No, but that's an important point. I think the reason why Djokovic, Federer, Nadal, to an extent Murray at his peak, was how they handled those 5-set games. The Tsitsipas's of the world came close. Tsitsipas was also 2 up against Djokovic. But is that how to play 5 sets? Because see, you are playing on the tour day in, day out a 3-setter, max.
Yeah.
You win 2, it's over. But these guys who won 20, just imagine how many Grand Slams Nadal would have played over, 15, 17 years?
Yeah.
At least more than 60 at least. Same with Djokovic, if not 80, 90. So, that's experience.
So do we have...
We'll keep discussing. This is Okwalinga Michael Bosco. Yes, he can do it again. That's Rafael Nadal. Raghuram says he's not playing this year. Very difficult to win if not playing.
That's what many people said during the Australian
That's
Open
true
in
for
2009.
99.9% of the players.
Yeah.
But maybe
Not
not
Nadal.
for Rafael Nadal.
Remember Federer coming back 2017? Federer coming back after that break, again after Wimbledon,
won
big break,
Australian.
won the Oz, won Wimbledon.
Wimbledon. Yeah. In fact, 2017 Wimbledon.
And he beat Nadal in the final at the Oz.
Yeah. That was also a great match.
Yeah.
Nadal, Federer.
Now 5 sets. 5 sets.
Speaking of great matches, Alcaraz is also one guy who can,
Well, let's open this up. So,
Yeah.
who wins now? Who are your 4 contenders?
The main contenders.
The first two
are
we know.
obviously, Yeah. Djokovic, Alcaraz. Tsitsipas, I think you'll have to put in there because he has won big tournaments on clay, has reached a final, of course, was leading by 2 sets against the great Djokovic in the 2021 final, was it?
Yeah.
So you have to put him in there. Casper Ruud could be a dark horse. He reached the final last year. Hasn't had the best season this year, but he's coming back now. He's reached the
In the semis in Italy.
the semi-finals in Rome. So he could be a dark horse. And of course, Zverev hasn't quite reached the levels that he
From
Are you intrigued by Medvedev?
I am
The
very
guy who
intrigued.
can't, till a couple of years back, couldn't win a game of
First round
clay.
exits at clay tournaments, and now he is reached, I think, first maiden semi-final in Rome.
Yeah.
So he is also getting into the groove just ahead of French Open.
Yeah, but it's
I think
tough
either-
to call him one of the contenders for a clay Grand Slam right
Yeah.
now. But you never know. Medvedev is a Grand Slam champion, so he can do it.
Yeah, and come back into form after a really lousy. I think he never recovered from that Nadal loss. It was very bad 2022.
Yeah.
So this year's won what? 3? He reached
Yeah.
5 finals.
Yeah, five.
Won 4.
Yeah.
Lost to Alcaraz in one of them.
Yeah.
At Indian Wells, was it?
Yeah.
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 And also, I think Alcaraz and Djokovic face each other in a Grand Slam. I don't think that has ever happened.
no.
So that is going to be an injury clash if they face each other because, yeah, I don't remember.
I think the pressure's on Alcaraz, and I think what's the one good thing that has happened right now, I mean, not good, but there's no pressure on Djokovic at the moment. He's Djokovic. Okay, there's always going to be that pressure. He's Nadal, he's always going to be that pressure. But the fact that he hasn't won,
Yeah.
it's actually a good thing, because the entire attention is going to be on Alcaraz.
Alcaraz also has a great.
And also Djokovic knows that he's now going to play the remaining 3 Grand Slams this year, and he's going to be the favorite for Wimbledon as well as the US Open probably.
Yes, for sure. Hard courts.
So yeah, even if he doesn't win the French Open, if he could end up winning it, he could still have a 2 Grand Slam lead over.
Remember what Rajiv Ram told us?
Yeah.
He said, don't go by 2022. Djokovic just played 11 matches, 11 tournaments.
Yeah.
He said, this year he's the man to beat. The Alcarazes of the world can wait for their time, but a fully fit and firing Djokovic is a different beast altogether.
Yeah.
No, and listen, he's never got that same amount of love from us, the fans, that the Federer got, that the Nadal got. And let's be honest, Nadal didn't come across with this kind of fan base. He's cultivated it.
Yeah.
The way he's adapted, he came out as this clay court bruiser.
Yeah.
But then he's won all the Grand Slams at least twice,
Yeah.
Federer just won the French once.
Only Djokovic and Nadal have done it twice
Yeah.
in the Open era.
So perhaps that's why we have this poll. Nikhil?
So yeah, can Rafael Nadal win a 23rd Grand Slam title? That was the question. And yes, 62.6% say he can, while 37.4% say it looks unlikely.
Close to 2/3.
Interesting.
Very interesting. What's your favorite Nadal memory, by the way?
Favorite Nadal memory is, in fact, I wouldn't say it. This 2022 Australian Open final comes close, but favorite Nadal memory is his Wimbledon win against Federer in
And Federer strikes
2008.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phenomenal match, just a great moment. I think it was his first Grand Slam apart from the French Open.
Yeah.
Just and it ended Federer's
Number 1, yeah.
5 consecutive Wimbledons he had won.
Plus
That's
number
just
1 for all those years.
Yeah, just as a fan,
It's the
as a
first
kid.
time I saw Federer as a mortal. Federer collapsing, crying. And then he lost again in the Oz. And cried again, remember? Yeah.
just-
And then at the end, both cried when Federer retired. Wow.
Yeah.
For you,
That-
Nikhil?
Yeah, I think the recent one is Australian Open because I thought he wasn't at his best. He was coming off an injury, and I didn't give him any chance. But then again, he just won it like it was a walk in, like it was an easy walk in the park for him. So yeah, what's
For
yours?
me, Kasparov.
This one.
How he won that Grand Slam, I don't know. We kept doing chats with our experts, and everyone kept thinking that Nadal's going out and the next one's going to retire. He was putting injections in his feet to put it to sleep so that to numb the pain.
Yeah.
He basically won a French Open on that surface where you put in the most amount of effort
Yeah.
without feeling his leg. He was effectively playing on one leg. I just think, Nadal in his peak was magnificent. But
Yeah.
the great players, you remember them for how they play when the chips are down. That's why I think Djokovic, the Oz this time. Federer winning the Oz and Wimbledon after that break in 17. In their pomp, you couldn't touch them. But when they are vulnerable, when this new generation is there to take you on, they've faced a lot, right? From Roddick to
Yeah.
everyone else, the Philippoussis was one Federer final. This guy, Nadal started off against Mariano Puerta. Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't even remember him. Yeah, so you remember these champions for when the backs had to the wall. Tiger winning the Masters
2019.
2019. When you don't expect it. I think that's what,
That's
for
why
me,
they're the GOATs.
it's the GOATs, yeah. Okay, they're the GOATs. Let's tell you what the GOATs on the WION sports team have in store for us. I'm just going to read it out. They're the GOATs.
Really? Goats. That's the first time you've been called goats. But yeah, we'll take it. So yes, we have, of course, the Europa League final is set. And
Jose. The special
Mourinho,
one.
The special one is in another European final.
Against the king of Europa League, Sevilla. That is going to be an interesting Europa League final.
Sevilla versus AS Roma, Europa League final set. Will be a clash of styles. And
We forgot, he's played, what, 5 European
5 out of 5. 5
championship finals and he's won 5, huh?
5 out of 5. Perfect record.
Mourinho knows how to win. How many shots?
Please don't go to PSG, Jose. Please don't go to PSG.
But what? He had one shot on
Bayer Leverkusen had 23 shots
23
on
to
goal.
1.
AS Roma had 1.
Inter Milan versus Barcelona, semi-finals 2010. That, and the beer coming down on him.
Yeah, so of course we have that.
Samuel Eto'o playing right back.
That's
That's
great.
Jose for you.
Yes. So, and of course we have NBA action where the Denver Nuggets have taken a 2-0 lead over the Los Angeles Lakers in the Western Conference Finals.
But if they win this, Vidur, I think they're going all the way.
Oh yeah, I think they're the favorites.
Yeah, they're the favorites.
Yeah, so 2 wins away from a first ever NBA Finals berth. The Denver Nuggets have never reached the NBA Finals. So yeah.
and a rookie leading PGA championship.
I was about to say what happened to the GOATs and they haven't mentioned golf. We have a second major of the year. Eric Cole, 34 years old. We haven't heard much of him because he's actually come up the true journey, man. He was playing minor league golf, 150 tournaments over there. Then 2021 came onto the Corn Ferry Tour, which is the feeder tour, and earned his tour card. Leading weather-affected first round was frost, so play got delayed. 30 players still to complete, including Eric Cole, who's at 5 under. 4 under with the clubhouse lead, the scientist, Bryson DeChambeau. From where it's come, this performance, everyone's stunned because his game has been off. He said yesterday, I'm trying to play with a new hand because he had his surgery. Behind him, the real story, I think, behind him, Scotty Scheffler at 3 under, Dustin Johnson at 3 under. 2 people in great form who know how to win majors. I think these two are going to contend on the final day. But live golfers contending again. In Kohli's century, Heinrich Klaasen's century.
First IPL match where both the teams had a player scoring a century. Klaasen for SRH and Virat Kohli. What an inning that was.
Some of the shots he played, remember, remind
Pure
us of
cricketing.
vintage Kohli. Especially that one he plays on the onside.
103
he
meters.
just swats it. Beautiful. Lovely to watch.
So yeah, that and much more on our show at 6:30 p.m. IST. Thanks for tuning in.